There are a lot of people suffering in this world. If God is all powerful and good, then why did evil exist in this world? This philosophical query is called the problem of evil. The problem of evil is the most fascinating philosophical puzzle of all time. Professor A.L. Harman traces the history and identifies some 21 historical solutions to the problem of evil, which are then reduced to the 8 quite distinct solutions. Do you know what is the most convincing answer discussed by the author for the problem of evil? You will get to know at the end of this episode. Hello listeners, welcome back to the next episode of podcast from Innovativeastrosolutions. In continuation to the last episode, I am going to talk further on theory of karma. One day, a novice monk inquired his spiritual master, "What is law of karma?" The spiritual master ordered him to visit nearest hospital and stay there for a week before he returns. The master said, "I will explain you after you are back." The disciple spent a week in the hospital and he came back. He was so upset. The spiritual master asked, "What did you observe in a week?" The novice monk replied, "I saw a child who born to a rich family, and I also saw another child which born and died immediately. In next day I saw another child born with physical disability. A small boy died because of accident. There is so much disparity, and I was even upset why God shows such an inequality among humans." The spiritual master replied, "All the disparities you witnessed are due to their own karma. The karma is the best proof to show disparities in human life." Then he added, "We are suffering from our own karma. It is not the fault of God. What we do is our own fault, nothing else." Swami Vivekananda emphasized this by saying, "Let us blame none, let us blame our own karma." Almost all religions, say Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, or Jainism, believe in the doctrine of karma. The word karma is derived from the Sanskrit kri, to do or actions. Technically, the karma means effect of actions. Our past action becomes the cause of present state, and our present action will become the cause of future actions. Karma is the eternal assertion of human freedom. Our thoughts, our words and deeds are the threads of the net which we throw around ourselves. How does the cycle of cause and effect started? The universe is operating in a certain harmony. When the harmony is disturbed, the nature will always try to restore its lost harmony. When a pendulum is pushed one side, it will oscillate back and forth until it comes back to an equilibrium state. Similar to this, the first action sets the karma and the cause and effect cycle continue from there. The act of dharma results in punya, which in turn results in shuga, pleasure. The act of adharma results in paba, which in turn results in dukkha, suffering. So it is clear that suffering alone is not due to past karma. Even happiness and prosperity is also due to past karma. Now, only actions create karma? What else can create karma? If present actions are due to the past karma, when murderer do an act of murder, is he not responsible for it? We will see the answer for this in the next episode. Before closing this episode, it's time to reveal what is the most convincing answer to the problem of evil. Professor A.L. Harman, who wrote the book on the problem of evil, concluded that the karma and rebirth is the most convincing answer to the problem of evil.
Hi Muthu, this is Mani. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. My question to you is regarding free will. Does free will exist? Are our lives predetermined, or can we change our lives with free will? Kindly share your thoughts on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mani. You have asked one of the most popular questions in the history. Does free will exist? Especially in the context of astrology, this is an important question. Let us deep dive into this. All our actions are events in their time. That is, whatever we do are event in time. Now, whatever that is event in time has a cause, something that is before happening of this event. And this event is consequence of that cause. So, the events, our actions, are effect of previous causes. This is the principle of cause and effect. With this principle, we can say that we don't have control of our actions. Because cause is what driving the events, right? This is called determinism or fate. Now, why should we believe in cause and effect? Because all science is built on causality. For example, if you throw a ball on the wall, it should bounce back. Because you have created the cause of throwing it, as an effect, it should bounce back, isn't it? This is something we can scientifically prove. And this is what Newton's third law, that is, for every action there will be equal and opposite reactions. So the cause and effect is the basis of law of karma, which says that our thoughts, our actions, our intentions are all programmed according to past cause. So these are the arguments that supports determinism. Now let us look into the other side, which is free will. Does free will exist? If you assume we don't have free will, then how did our dharma system exist? Because our entire dharma is built on free will, right? Due to the fact that you have a choice to choose between good and bad. When you have a choice, you must have free will, right? So whatever we teach in dharma is do this action instead of that action, right? Even the modern day justice is built on free will. The court punishes someone because they find that the victim had option other than what he committed, right? Also, the human guilt is based on free will. We all in life at one point in time definitely felt some amount of guilt. If there is no free will, why there is a feeling of guilt? We feel guilt because we see that there was a choice existed between what we have chosen versus what would have been done, right? Since human instinctively built with the feeling of guilt, we cannot deny free will as well. Okay, so now we have seen the two sides. One is determinism and other one is free will. What I feel is that determinism and free will are not opposite. Instead, they coexist. In order to exercise free will, you need some amount of determinism. This may be a little confusing to you. Let me explain with an example. Think about an automotive braking system. When you press brake pedal, it pushes master cylinder and allows brake fluid to flow under the pressure. Then the pressurized fluid reaches inside the caliper and wheel cylinder, which then forces the brake pads against the revolving rotor to stop. Now, all these braking components are arranged in order to apply brake whenever you need. These components are tied to each other, right? Which is nothing but determinism. So without this determinism, that is components which are closely tied, you cannot apply brakes whenever you need, right? So without some amount of determinism, your free will be in chaos. If all the components are loosely packed without any determinism, then when you apply brake, sometimes it may engage and sometimes it may not engage. So the free will of stopping the vehicle itself is not possible. Even our body has some amount of determinism. You cannot rotate your hand 360 degrees, right? There are certain joints in our body in order to do certain actions. When we break our hands, why do we join it again? Because certain deterministic positions in the body are required to perform actions freely. Even law of karma supports some amount of free will. Let us say our current actions are due to previous cause. What was the cause of previous actions then? It is just the previous cause, right? So if you go back one step begin, maybe 100 times or 1000 times or million times, at some point you have to reach to first action, right? How did you perform that first action without a free will? If there were no free will, then there is no possibility for our first action, right? But the fact is, the moment we do our first action, some portion of free will is gone. Think about this example. You have a limited over cricket. Let's say in 50 overs, your target is to achieve 300 runs. Now, during the start of the match, you have a free will to score 1 run in a ball. But when the first ball becomes a dot ball, your required run rate automatically becomes more than 6. So now you don't have a free will to score 1 run in a ball. This is what exactly happens when your first action is performed. Some amount of free will is already gone. So here is my final conclusion. In my view, we have some portion of free will, but at the same time, we don't have 100% free will. When a cow is tied in a rope, it has free will to go only within the length of the rope. It cannot go beyond that. You can nurture and plant a seed, but at any point, you cannot grow a mango tree with pine seeds, right? The seed decides its breed. No matter what, you cannot change it. But with free will, you can either nurture the plant or destroy the plant. Hence, the fate and free will coexist and support each other beautifully. I hope this have given some clarity to you. Thank you again, Mani, for asking this beautiful question. Thank you, listeners. We have come to the end of this episode. If you have any questions in this episode or any of the previous episodes, please feel free to record your questions in a voice message and send to my WhatsApp number. Please make a note of my WhatsApp number. It is 90084772228. Let me repeat, 90084772228. Thank you again to all the listeners. Meet you again in another episode.